The Summer Games Minute, brought to you by Mass Mutual. For most professional athletes, versatility means they can play a few different positions in a single sport. For Babe Dietrichson-Zaharias, versatility means dominance across the entire spectrum of sport. In the 1932 Summer Games in Los Angeles, Zaharias won gold in the 80-meter hurdles and the javelin throw, plus she got a silver in the high jump. Running, throwing, jumping wasn't enough for Babe, so she became a competitive billiards player, then jumped into professional golf, winning 10 major championships, all the while making a few pitching appearances in Major League Baseball spring training games. MassMutual understands the nuances in how women want and need to manage their finances. With quality product solutions and guidance, a MassMutual financial professional can help you plan for both short-term and long-term money goals. Learn more and get started at massmutual.com.
Welcome to a brand new podcast series brought to you by The Race. This is Bring Back V10s, where we celebrate a classic era when Formula One was loud on the track and off it. We'll be looking back in depth at the races, personalities and storylines that defined the V10 era of F1, which we are classing as 1989 to 2005. In our first series, which launches very soon, we'll be covering topics such as Alain Prost's famous Ferrari sacking, the infamous McLaren MP418 that never raced, or did it, Ferrari's disastrous 2005 season, the race Damon Hill should have won for Arrows, and Nigel Mansell's brief but terrible stint with McLaren. There'll be plenty more as well, but we don't want to ruin all of the surprises for you just yet. My name's Glenn Freeman and I'll be hosting the podcast, and we hope you enjoy taking a few trips down memory lane with us for this new series. We also want to hear from you about this era. Our season finale will be an entire episode dedicated to the topics you want us to talk about. So make sure you get in touch with @WeAreTheRace on social media, or send your questions to ask@therace.com, and don't forget the hyphen, to get us talking about what you want to hear. We also want you to let us know if you want us to break our own rules as well. For example, we'd be happy to bring back V8s in the future. So if you'd like us to talk about stories from 2006 to 2013, make sure you let us know. For now though, we just want to give you a little taste of what you can expect when the series launches very soon. Here's a clip from our Prost Ferrari episode, where guests Karun Chandok and Ed Straw look at one of the less talked about chapters from Prost's epic rivalry with Ayrton Senna. And the main story to come out of the German Grand Prix is that Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna are at it again. Now, for those of you who don't remember, they end up battling on track, almost banging wheels a few times, and in the end, Senna, in Prost's eyes, shoves Prost down the escape road at one of the chicanes, and when he gets back to the paddock, he lets fly against Senna, and it's the first flare-up, really, we've had between Prost and Senna since Suzuka 1990, which decided the championship. Is this one of those kind of lost Prost-Senna spats, because it pales in significance to all the fallouts they had when they were actually battling for world championships?
Yeah, I think so, because, it didn't have the intensity of a championship battle, really. So in some ways, it didn't really matter. It was, considering the drama of 89 and 90, this was such a small blip. I think it's just gone below everyone's radar, hasn't it?
I think it was one of those signs of frustration as well for Prost, because, Senna was being obviously a little bit aggressive in his defence, but also if you look at the manoeuvre, it's not really a percentage play from Prost. He'd also spun in the British Grand Prix previously as well. So I wonder if, for a driver of impeccable judgment like Prost, I wonder whether there's some signs of the frustration that things aren't going well inside Ferrari. That the Silverstone mistake, then putting himself in that position at Hockenheim, because Senna doesn't completely shove him off. And I know it's a wider thing, it was the wider battle, but I don't know, what did you make of that one, Corinne? Do you think that one, I mean, it wasn't Suzuka 90, was it? It was one of those ones where he's trying to go around the outside into chicane, he's not going to get around anyway. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's to give it modern context, I don't think it's one that would even go to the stewards, really. They didn't touch, they didn't make contact.
it's not even as close as Leclerc and Lewis got into the second chicane at Monza last year. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. But, I think it's part of their ongoing frustration and saga with each other, really, in many ways.
We hope you enjoyed that little teaser, and we're looking forward to taking you on a series of deep dive looks at this classic era of Formula One. Make sure you subscribe to this feed so you never miss an episode, and remember to get in touch with @WeAreTheRace on social media with your questions for our series finale.